Good morning to one and all. So we'll start session 4 on heredity and evolution. So in our previous class we understood about Mendel's experiment, why he chose the garden pea plant for his experiment, because he had various number of reasons, plus it gave us 7 characteristic traits with a single pea plant. So let us study now how Mendel carried out his experiment. First, he carried out with a garden pea plant in a monohybrid cross. Now what do you mean by a monohybrid cross? It is a cross between 2 pea plants with one pair of contrasting character. Now here, when we discussed yesterday, there were 7 pair of contrasting characters. So Mendel chose a pea plant. That is why it is called as a monohybrid. He chose only one contrasting character to study at a time. So he chose the character of height. So cross between 2 pea plants with one pair. Always the characters or the contrasting characters, when we always choose them in pair. So we also know that, we study further, chromosomes also always appear in pairs. That is why these characters are chosen always in pair. One pair of contrasting character. Now which character he studied? He studied the character height. So Mendel chose pure tall plant and pure dwarf plant. Now what do I mean by pure tall and pure dwarf? These are nothing but homozygous condition. Now homozygous condition means similar type of plants. Now where did Mendel get pure tall and pure dwarf? How did he know that these are the set of pure tall and these are the set of pure dwarf? That is by conducting several experiments on them. He came to a conclusion that these are pure tall and these are pure dwarf plant. He chose pure tall and pure dwarf and he cross-pollinated, or we can say that he did the hybridization process or cross-pollinated them. You will understand the process of pollination in your how do organisms reproduce chapter. So now when I talk about characters or these traits which appear in pair, I take pure tall. Now tallness in height is always dominant, we know that. Dwarfness is always recessive. So dominant allele and recessive allele which are appearing in pair. So when I crossbreed these tall plant and dwarf plant, so here I have written something as F1. That means these are first generation or F1 progeny, what we say. What do we get it? So the first generation plant, because this is the first generation where he has chosen pure tall and pure dwarf. When we cross hybrid or we crossbreed the first generation plant, we get F2 generation. That is, we get the progeny of F1, which is nothing but F2, right? So what did we get when we cross hybrid these pure tall and pure dwarf plant? We got T and T. Now that means here, what type of plants we got? We got all tall plants, right? There was no medium height or there was no dwarf height plants. I repeat once again, when Mendel chose pure tall and pure dwarf, he cross hybrided these 2 plants. That point of time, he got all tall plants. Now that means here I have written only one. So there are number of tall plants which were grown. All which were born were tall. But what were the characters or what were the allele present in them? It had one tall and one dwarf character in them, right? But what was represented? What was expressing? It was expressing tall because tall is dominant and tallness dominated over the dwarfness. So the dwarf was recessive, right? So pure tall and pure short, when we cross hybrid them, we get all tall plants because tall is dominant and short is recessive. Now the present generation, F2 generation, F1 generation progeny, which is nothing but F2, we have got all tall plants, right? There are no medium plants. But what are the alleles present in this tall plants? The allele present is tall and dwarf. But what is dominant? Tall is dominant. That is why all the plants are tall. Now what did Mendel do now again? Mendel again chose the second generation plant. He took 2 plants. Okay. So there were, assume that there were 10 plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These many plants were there. What were these? All tall plants. He chose randomly 2 plants in those many plants which were grown from the F1 generation, right? Which is nothing but F2. He chose 2 plants. Now what are the characters of those 2 plants? Those 2 plants are again tall and tall only, right? Because all were tall. What are the alleles of those tall plants? T, that is dominant, recessive, dominant, recessive. Correct? Just check here. That is why I told pure tall, pure dwarf, which are called as homozygous, similar type. Now here in second generation, what has happened? Both are tall, but what are the alleles they have? They have tall and dwarf alleles. Tall and dwarf alleles. That means these type of breed are called as heterozygous breed. Homozygous, heterozygous. They are pure condition. This is mixed condition. Okay. So in second generation, that is F2 progenies were allowed to cross-pollinate among themselves. So when we cross-pollinate these plants, now what will happen? Tall, dwarf, tall and dwarf. So here just I have written this as T and T, T and T. Let us see when they interbreed among themselves, what will be the result. Now first, this tall plant will pollinate with this tall plant. What will be the result? Tall and tall. Now next what will happen? Now again this tall plant will pollinate with this dwarf plant. What will be the result? T into T. Simple. I am doing the multiplication process here. Next. Now again, this dwarf plant will pollinate with this tall plant. What will be the result? T and T. Now this dwarf will pollinate with this. What will be the result? T and T, that is dwarf. Now, a bit difficult to understand this at the first first thing when I'll explain, but you'll understand as and when we proceeded. Now, simple what we did was, we chose the multiplication thing. We just multiplied tallness and dwarfness. Actually, if I come to the first part, what was the genotype here? Genotype was pure tall and pure short, right? That is dwarf. What was the phenotype here? Phenotype is what is physically appearing. Phenotype was all tall, right? Let me come to this part. What is the genotype here? Okay. Now here genotype is T and T. So I will write 1 T and T I will write. Okay. Next, T and TT, how many are there? There are 2 plants which are in this order, genotypically. Last one. How many plants are with only T and T? Only 1. That means this is a genotype condition. Okay. Now let me see phenotype condition. What do you mean by a phenotype condition? What alleles are expressed? So now let us understand the phenotype condition. Now we know that genotype is what actually it consists of, right? Now phenotype is, now what genetically it consists, it has to be expressed. So in phenotype condition, what traits or what alleles are expressed? Now before that, let us first understand which are the traits which are getting expressed and which are the traits which are getting suppressed. I again take back to the previous one here. In previous part, when we saw, we got in the F2 generation, when we cross hybrid F1 into F1, F2 generation what we got, we had both the alleles here, tall as well as dwarf, right? But the tallness allele was expressed and the dwarfness allele was suppressed. That is why tall was expressed, dominant allele, short was or dwarf was suppressed, it is a recessive allele. Now here also when we talk about in genotype, as we spoke about, we have one T and T, two T and T again, one T and T. That means our alleles what they appear in pair are always in terms of one dominant, one recessive. Even here in this case, genotypically what we have, T and T. That means one is dominant, one is recessive. Now in phenotype we will see which is expressing and which is suppressing. So two plants which are T and T here, one is dominant, one is recessive. Similar here. Again to recall or remind you once again, dominant is always written in capital and recessive is always written in small letter. I can also write it like this, right? But this is not the correct way of writing, because usually we say that we write the dominant character, dominant allele first and then the recessive. In other words, capital letters are written first. In English vocabulary type, if you go to see, capital letters we write first and then the small letters. That means here dominant is written first followed by recessive. Okay, let us see now in phenotype what allele is getting expressed. Now here it was T and T. That means one is dominant, one is recessive. But here both dominant and recessive allele are tall only. That means both will not get expressed. If both had to get expressed, the tallness of the tree would be double, right? So only one allele will get expressed. Which allele? Dominant will get expressed, recessive will be suppressed there, or it will not be. So here in phenotype, in the first condition I have one tall plant. Okay. Now again in the second condition. So there were two genotypically tall and dwarf, right? Combination. Here tall is expressed. That means there are two plants which are tall again. That means T is expressed, tallness is expressed, dwarfness is not expressed, recessive. The last one. Here we have both T and T. That means here also actually it is one dominant and one is recessive. But which are both here? Both are dwarf, right? Similarly how we had here, one is dominant, one is recessive, but both were tall. Similarly here, there are two dwarf alleles. In two dwarf alleles, we again have one dominant and one recessive, right? That means one dwarf allele is expressed. I can also say one dwarf allele is suppressed, but either of that. If again both the dwarf alleles will be expressive, means he will be shorter than shorter, which is not possible. So always they appear in pair in which one allele is always expressed and another is suppressed, which is expressed known as dominant and which is suppressed known as recessive. That means you have one dwarf. Now totally with phenotype condition, how many tall plants do I have? I have 3 tall plants, 1 dwarf plant. Ratio I am talking about, right? Understand, if I cross hybrid these, I will only not get 3 tall and 1 dwarf. Ratio 3:1 I get. It is not that I only choose with 1 or 2. I randomly choose those plants. In that number of plants what I have grown, the ratio of tallness to dwarfness is 3:1. That means I can always tell 75% of the plants are tall to 25% of the plants are dwarf. 75% of the talls have expressed themselves that they are tall, and here 25% are short. So they are in the ratio 3:1. That is what I have written here. In the F2 progeny, in second generation, F2's progeny is whatever we get, 3/4 way tall 75%, 1/4 way dwarf 25%. Right? Now let us try to write this in the checkerboard method. Checkerboard method is also called as a Punnett square method. So let us see that how these alleles get expressed. See, this is also one type of a checkerboard method only, right? But here you get confused what to match with what. It is simple what we use in mathematics, multiplication. The same rule we will apply here. So we will write the character. What are the homozygous condition what we have chosen here? One is tall, another is dwarf. So one is tall, another is dwarf. We have chosen these contrasting pairs, right? So tallness into tallness. Again, same thing I am writing here. So this will be T into T, T into T, capital T, tall into dwarf. Okay, let me call that as tall into tall. Again here one is dominant, one is recessive. So here T into T, I'll first write capital T, then small t, and here. So this is checkerboard method of representing monohybrid cross of Mendel experiment. So here in this, what do you find? You always have a triangular combination. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 tall plants, or the ratio is always 3:1. Correct? So this is the checkerboard method of representing monohybrid cross of Mendel's experiment, where he chose one character to study at a time. So in our tomorrow's class, we will study dihybrid cross, where Mendel has chosen 2 characters at a time to study. He has chosen the color and he has chosen the shape of the pot or shape of the peak, what you can say here, to understand in dihybrid how are the alleles expressed. In terms of both the characters, how do they express themselves. So when we talk about dihybrid, we can't be choosing this factor here. It will be quite confusing. What is matching with what? At that point of time, checkerboard method will give us the clear picture and understanding how many alleles are expressed, how they are expressed, how they get segregated, how they get mixed with each other, and we'll see that in our tomorrow's class. So in today's class, if you have any doubt, you can call on the same day of the video sent.